Hello, friends. Hi, how are you guys? Okay, so I am so pumped and excited to be here. My name is Autumn First. Hello. I am a double diamond in the business, been in about a year and a half, and I just couldn't be more blessed to be in this position right now to introduce you guys to Rachel Whigham. She is going to come on and just let us pick her brain for a little bit. So as you're coming in, say hello, let her know where you guys are coming from. And Rachel, please, I don't want to hold this off any longer. Please tell us your story and a little bit about you.
Yes, hi. It's such an honor to be able to join you all tonight. Hello, everyone. Yes, talk to me in the comments. I love that. It's always fun. But it's an honor to be here. So thank you for asking me to come on. So yes, let's see what version of my story you guys will get today. I say that because I've been here, it'll be 8 years in June that I've been with It Works. And so there are so many facets to my story that I could literally take this whole hour talking about my story. It's crazy, but I'm not going to do that. But anyways, I started this business 2013. I was a single mom who had just recently graduated with my master's degree. Anybody with a master's in here? Drop a one in the comments. Okay, graduated with a master's degree, but I was a single mom and I was broke. It didn't make sense. I had a master's level position. I had a master's level position and still couldn't pay my bills. And I was just like, this does not make sense. Like I should be able to pay my bills. So I was invited to a party. So still have parties. Listen, that party changed my life and I was her only guest outside of her mom. And that party changed my life. I heard a story about a lady who was making, I drop it in the comments because I know you said you're recording this. She was making this a month. And I was like, oh my gosh, if she can make this much, then, and she was a nurse practitioner. Her husband was a general manager at Deerbergs. And I was like, okay. And that's like a grocery store if you guys don't have Deerbergs. But it was like, okay, if they can make all this money, two kids, busy lives, then I can make 500. I really wasn't worried about that much money. I was worried about $500 a month. And so I decided to say yes, especially because I tried the wrap at her party. Did not have the money for a wrap, y'all. I was broke. Like I was for real broke. But I decided to support my friend anyway. Tried the wrap, got great results. And I was like, all right, I'm signing up because I can just make a little bit of money. Like she's making that much. Like there's no way I can't make this much. Like if I can't make this much, there's something wrong with me. So I jumped in, y'all. And I just decided I was going to commit to it because I just was going to commit to it. And so I showed up for all the meetings that they had. And then 2 months into the game, my enroller quit. It was actually the month after I went Ruby. So I went Ruby the next month, like she went kind of ghost and then just dissipated. But I always tell people like I didn't start for her, so I didn't stop for her. I started for my son. I started to pay his tuition. My son was in private school. He was in daycare, and it was like I wanted this business to work for me. So just because you don't think it's going to work for you does not mean that it's not going to work for me. So I kept going, and let me tell you. Let's see, going on this journey. I hit Ruby, and then it was like back to distributor, went to conference, changed my life, y'all, changed my life. I went to conference as paid as a distributor, but I was a Ruby, and was there on a prayer. Okay, my grandma bought my plane ticket. My sugar daddy paid for the hotel. That's my husband now, praise the Lord. But I didn't have any money. Like I didn't have any money barely to eat, but I just knew I had to get there because everybody just kept saying that, go to conference, go to conference, go to conference. So I was like, I'm going. And my husband, I believe he thought it was a vacation, but I was there to really get something. So I got what I needed. I came home and went from distributor to diamond in 3 months. Like I was serious. I was like, I'm going to change my life. And so then from there, it was crazy. I was building up my volume, building up my check. And, I think I didn't fully understand what I was doing. Okay. So like, for example, it was like, I wanted the money. Like drop a one in the comments if you started this business for money. Me. I started for money. So I was here for the money. Like I wanted to be where the money resides. Like I just wanted to be where the money was. And I didn't view people necessarily, like I knew I had to change people's lives, help people change their life in order to get the money. But I don't think that my focus was fully on, the bigger picture. And so I actually got married in September 2014, lost my bonus that month. Ain't that crazy? The month that I got married is the month my business fell apart. And it was my fault. Like, I was not enrolling. I was looking at my team to work. I mean, I was working, but I wasn't working like I could have been working. And I lost my bonus. And it was so great. Back then, you didn't have no grace period. You lost your bonus, it was gone. And so Mark actually brought back the good. And that next month, it was 2 months, I was able to get my bonus back. But it was me making a decision that this was my business, and never again would I leave my business in the hands of somebody else. And so deciding to take full control, understanding that completing my steps is the ultimate way to ensure that my business is always flourishing. And so went to conference with a new crew, y'all, brand new crew, because the first crew was just me and my friend and my boyfriend. But the next year, I went to conference with 9 people, y'all. And that conference changed everything. I don't know how long you guys have been in the business, but 2015, I went to conference. My whole life changed. I came home I was paid as a diamond. So I got my diamond back, paid as a diamond, came home. And within 3 months, I had went from diamond, barely paid as a diamond, to a triple diamond. It wasn't even 3 months. It was like 2.5 months. I went from diamond to a triple diamond. My husband went from ruby to a double diamond. And then it only took us 7 more months to go presidential. We did sit at presidential, and I don't say sit at because we were growing at presidential for 3.5 years, and then hit ambassador diamond. And now we are working on black diamond. And so it's just been such a blessing to be here. Personally speaking, I have been through all of the things when it comes to life. My father passed away during my presidential diamond run, like abruptly, from substance abuse. We've dealt with infertility during the business and during runs. We've dealt with fertility issues. So beyond the infertility, like actually keeping baby in utero, we've dealt with everything, every sickness, grandparents in the hospital, death, whatever you can think of, we've dealt with during this business because we've been here for 8 years. So that's the gist of my story. I mean, I could give you more, but I'll leave it there and just wait on questions.
We love it all. I love so many parts of your story, but I love the part where you said that it's all in your hands and that you essentially had to make a decision. And I feel that that's where often so many of us sit. So it was really amazing to hear that from you. I'm curious what a typical workday looks like for you.
Now, yes, now, because it's different. It's different for like 8 years ago. Like, it's so different. I have 3 kids, a dog, and a husband. I retired my husband 5 years ago. It'll be 6 years in November that he has been home full time. That was a big blessing. I felt like I married my husband to be with him, not to be in passing all the time. And so when I realized that this business could allow him to do what he really desired to do in life, and we didn't have to barely see each other, I was here for it. And so he's actually a full-time basketball coach at his alma mater. And he wouldn't have been able to take that job with the job that he was working. So I say on a typical day, I'm saying great day. We're going to say a great day, right? A great day, I will wake up and I have prayer with the team. So we have prayer each morning. So actually, well, before then, I get up. In my perfect world, I get up at 5 a.m. Okay. That's in a perfect day. But normally it's around like 5:30, 5:40 that I get up, finally get out the bed. And then I have my alone time. So I have my time alone. And then I go into prayer with my team. I have a meeting with my diamonds and above at 7:30 where we handle all the clerical duties of being a diamond. We do it together so we can really be in the habit of taking care of those things. And then from there, normally I will work out from there. I'll have my workout time, and then I'll have a session to where I'm working. So as a team, we would have spaces to where we could work, and perhaps we'll get on there, or I'll create my own workspace. I like to work with my kids, but I do better when I'm actually away in my office. So I will create office time, but I have a structured calendar, but it really just depends on the day. So some days I may have one-to-ones. Some days I may have a session with the newbie. Some days I may have an opportunity call. It just really depends on the day. So I have sessions where I work. I do block scheduling. So it just depends on the day. I'll have a block where I'm working, a block where I'm with my kids, a block where I am cooking dinner, a block where I have meetings. So I block schedule, but it just depends. Perfectly, we have a team calendar, and that changes everything because it puts everything on the schedule for you.
So amazing.
Hopefully to answer your question, it really can vary. So I have 3 kids and one is still e-learning at home. So I'm floating with the wind.
You are a better woman than me. First of all, waking up at 5:30 in the morning, not that won't be happening for me, but I love that you say that it's so flexible, because that's one of the reasons why so many of us want to join this business, is that our schedules do fluctuate and we want to be able to say yes to all of the things that we want. So I think that that's great that you highlighted how it truly does fluctuate depending what you have going on. Okay, so this is all about train the trainer. So I want to kind of get into the distributor that says, no matter what I do, no matter who I talk to, no one wants to join me, no one wants to work with me. What do you say to them, to that distributor, and how do you troubleshoot with them in that instance?
Their mind. It's their mind. They need to work on their mindset ASAP. That's negative. It's extremely negative. And so they're feeding their brain the wrong stuff. And so we just start with some personal development to kind of get their brain in the right spot. But we start with personal development from day one. It's imperative. Like, your mind is your money maker, and this business is 90% mental. So I would tell you to go, we would get you a book ASAP, as soon as possible. Let me give you a book specifically. So they say that, say the things again. What are they saying?
That no one wants to join them or no one wants to work with them.
Okay, so we probably would start with "You Are a Bad A." So I probably would start there. Yep, I would start there. And then based on how they deal with that, actually, somebody I was just talking to about this today, As You Think. It's a great book by James Allen. It's that is a great book, and it's so short. I love having people read that. It's called As You Think by James Allen. Of course, you can go to No Stinking Thinking, but it really just starts with them, their mind. If you can get them to start to speak positive over their life and their business, then you can start to get them to actually see the cup as half full instead of half empty, because that's a half empty mentality.
It is, you're right. So how do you, from the very beginning, how are you getting them in self-development?
Yep. So the book that everybody starts with is GoPro. I feel like you can't be in a profession and not understand it. And so starting with GoPro by Eric Worre to fully understand the profession that you got yourself into. And then it's based on the person. It really is. We have some general things that we recommend for newbies, but it's really based on you. It's individualized. And my leaders are readers. We make sure that. So my leaders are readers. And so they have a reservoir. We have a reservoir of books that we can draw from in order to recommend. So it's individualized. If you want to give me like some specific, oh, I'll give you one. So like, for example, if I have a person that comes in and they're a hot mess mom, like they're just all over the place, I might have them read Moms Mean Business. You know what I'm saying? Something that helps them get into a structured mindset so they can get themselves together. If I have a person who is struggling with, let's see, struggling with, I don't know, give me something. Doubt specifically. Give me a little more than that.
Just like self-doubt, like I probably thinking that what did I just join? Can I do
Freaking
this?
out. I would probably start with the As You Think first. And because it's really like it's mental, it's so mental. And then also for us, yeah, like this is a big thing on our squad. Like, we do mental work. I happen to have a background in psychology and professional counseling. It's my background. So I understand how powerful the mind is. And so we have about 2 to 3 spaces a week that people come and we work on just our mind. We really do. We negate the negative things. We shift perspectives. It's so important. So outside of the personal reading, there's also space for them to come and get different perspectives.
I love that. We have, our team does do a vision casting, myself and one of my diamonds, Raquel. We run it together and just meet twice a week to do the same thing. So we're at least on to something right there. So for the next question, you kind of talked about this a little bit, but I want you to talk to us a little bit more about belief and how do you keep your belief going? Because like you said, life happens, all these things come up. You've went through so many struggles in life in general. So how do you keep your mind right every single day and continue it to grow on top of that?
It's a good question. How do you keep your mind right? It's my spiritual and personal development. It's daily. It's a non-negotiable. And so, I mean, that is the answer for me. It's the spiritual and personal development, and it's my circle. Your circle matters. But I feel like that has a lot to do with your spiritual and personal development. And then also understanding that you are part of your circle. And so if you self-isolation, it's the same thing. Isolating, is not a good thing, especially if you're not somebody good to talk to, and I'm not even trying to be funny, but a lot of people say a lot of bad things to themselves all day long. And so you may be somebody who needs to have something playing all the time, 24/7, something positive, until you start to speak positive to yourself. And so I would say your circle, well, my circle, I'm gonna tell you, my circle is very tight, and my spiritual and personal development is a non-negotiable. It's a non-negotiable.
Amazing. You're right. You're absolutely right. Okay, so something that our team has been talking about lately is going for the no, essentially, and really facing rejection. And a lot of us we'll say, I sent out 20 messages for host to post today and only 2 people posted. So we always talk about going for the no, but how do you actually go for the no? Like, what does that look like for you? And how do you process the no's and the rejection that comes along with that?
Oh, I think that I think it's a choice to look at your cup as half full. It's a choice, and understanding that you're a business owner, you have to understand that everybody is not privy to the knowledge that you have about the product, about the business, about whatever. Everybody doesn't have a relationship with you. They don't trust you. People buy people, not product. And so there's a lot of factors that go into it. Like I used to go live every single day for smoothie time. I have people who talk about it like every single day for smoothie time. I would make a smoothie with my kids. I make a smoothie by myself, whatever. Like it was my thing. And it was easy. It was so easy to sign loyal customers. Like I would be in inboxes and people would know who I am because I'm the girl on your timeline that does smoothie time every single day. Right. So I think it has a lot to do with, are you the full package? Are you doing all the things, or are you just messaging people? And then also it goes back to mindset. Is your mind right sending the messages? Because energy does flow. So if you have a bad spirit, or your mind is in your feelings, or you're eager, we give to give. My messages are to give, not to get, right? Because I may give in one place and God may bless me in another. Like this morning, I had a January cart checkout. A January cart checkout. So it's just a matter of obedience and just giving to give. And if you give to give, then you'll reap the harvest that you've already sown. I don't understand the whole thing of believing that. And be honest, most of the seeds that you plant and harvest the same day are the ones who tell you about the auto shipment, are the ones who tell you, like, I didn't sign up for this. Like, it's too fast. Like, it was too fast. So I like it when people go on a journey with me and they truly understand and we build that relationship, because I've been planting seeds for years. So the question is, do you consistently plant seeds regardless of the seeds from today growing, and you given the opportunity of the seeds that you've been planting and watering from a week ago, from a month ago? Like, do you follow up? That's another thing. Like, are you actually following up? Following up is like the bread and butter of what we teach in terms of your business. It's so important. So for me personally, I just do the things. That's what I do. I do the things. I consistently do the things regardless, because it's my job. So I'm going to get up. I'm going to do my business because that is my job. And I understand that doing my job will reap the harvest that I desire. If that makes sense, because that was not straightforward.
No, it makes a lot of sense. I think that it's one of the things where a lot of the times we want that immediate gratification. So it's like, well, I sent all these messages out and I asked 20 people into the business, so why aren't they joining me? It's that instant gratification where you're right, we do have to follow up continuously, and it's probably not just going to be one follow up later. And then
Pam says it like this: did you earn the sale? And that's the real thing. Like a lot of people aren't earning the sale. It's like you are like going up to, you ever been hit on by a dude and it just be like, no, bro, like you didn't even flirt with me. Like no, absolutely not. Like, it's like that. It's like, what are you doing? Like, this is weird, right? So are you actually earning the sale? And once you do the work and you've earned it, oh yes, what's that card number? Like, let's go ahead and check out, or go ahead and throw this host to post up for me,
That was a great analogy. I'm all about analogies, and that's probably the best one I've heard about it since. So makes total sense when you talk about it that way. Okay, so last question we have for you. You hit about it on a teeny bit. I'm curious about, what do you tell your team about attraction marketing and how they can apply that to their pages? Because looking at your page, it's beautiful. It's so bright. You're so happy. Like, it's just made, like, I feel like I know you just looking at your page. So how do you convey that to your team where they understand it and they're following in suit?
So it's so cool because, first of all, thank you. But because I'm trying, okay, but we don't try, we do. So, but I think one of the biggest things we've recently, because we were not necessarily a social media team prior to the pandemic. We worked social, like social was our resume, but we didn't really like work social, if that makes sense. Like we were a belly to belly, we were just a mixture, like, right? We did a plethora of things. And so recently I did a series, it's actually on my YouTube page in a playlist, it's called Becoming. And we went through actually becoming, like, how do you become prior to really becoming? Because you always become, like, everybody is always becoming. And so for me, the way we teach it is, number one, they go and watch that series because it actually takes them through changing things on their page and truly understanding who they are. Because until you truly understand who you are, you cannot convey that to somebody else. And so I don't want you to be who Rachel is, because I'm not the person that you would ever connect with. Sometimes some people ever, right? Like we would, in real life, we would never be connected, right? And so you're not going to find the business partners trying to connect with Rachel when you would never connect with me in the first place, right? So you have to decide who you really are. And most people have no idea. Like, I'm still trying to figure it out. Like, I'm still trying to figure out who in the world Rachel is. And so going through that process, and it feels like it might take a distributor forever to do, but it doesn't. They just have to be committed to it. And if you can be committed to becoming who you actually are and freeing yourself from everything that you have acted like you are, because that's for real. Most people are not walking in their authentic self. And if you can't walk in your authentic self because you're afraid of who may think something, you may have to switch up your whole friends list. Like I was just telling somebody the other day, I need to delete everybody from my previous life. Okay. Like from college, from middle school, because that's what I did when I first joined this business. I got out a yearbook. I added everybody that I may have been familiar with. And then I was like, no, Jesus, what did I do? Like, let me delete all these people because they not checking for me. Like they weren't checking for me in high school and they not checking for me now. Like I got to get rid of these people. But it was a great way to tap into their networks and their friends to get friends. But in all honesty, it's about first looking at yourself and saying, who am I? What do I really like? And not when I open up a magazine, who do I want to look like? And so that series kind of takes you through getting yourself together.
That's amazing. Definitely something that we're going to have to check out. I'm definitely excited to look at that. That was all of the questions that we had for you. And I kind of wanted to see if maybe there was anything in the chat that anyone had in there, if there was any questions that anyone put. Wasn't sure if anyone had any questions for her before we hop off.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yes, drop some love in there for her, please. This was so amazing. So good. I'm just so incredibly blessed that you took the time out of your day to pour into us and let us pick your brain. This meant everything. And I sent her a little background about how we connected. I was on an Enroll-a-thon a couple weeks ago, and she led one of the best power hours I've ever been on. And I was just in her inbox to talk about it. And she was just gracious enough to jump onto this with us. So please.
We got a question here.
Oh, yes.
Oh, somebody just said biggest tip for distributors, like the soul of what you believe is what you attract. honestly, when it comes to distributors, I think it becomes a lot of what are you really exuding on your page and what are you asking for? Like, do you talk about the business on your page? Because a lot of times what happens is people get so caught up in the product that all you really talk about on your page is product. All you really talk about in your stories is product. You show your coffee, but you don't ever show your face talking about your story, what this business does for you. Like, do you show that stuff daily? And then are you asking? Listen, you are not cold if we are friends. Like, I just don't believe it. Like, we can be lukewarm, but we're not cold. And so I message for distributors. I will ask with the quickness. I mean, host the post is a great way. You can throw up host the post for a network that you desire. Like, do not ask somebody that you don't care for to put up a host the post for a distributor. And then listen, that's the same as partnered up. Like, you don't put up a partnered up host the post within a network that you don't want. And so all the things, that's how I feel for distributors. You do all the things. You do TikToks. I'm finishing some homework, but as soon as I finish my homework, you do what's working, do what you see, and then whatever you fall in love with. Because when the TikTok does hit, it hits. Like, it really does. Like, you will get back to back text messages. The text message one works the best for me. So when you put text money to the number, that's the one that works best for me, instead of saying drop below or something like that. Having them text you is like legit. I had one day I was like, money. I was like, wait, what happened? My TikTok must have hit something. That was great. So message for it. Go after the people that you desire. Don't go after people just because you're thirsty. Like, you just want, like, I just need a distributor. And then go back into the mindset of you giving to give. Like, do you have a blessing to give other people? And that's how this is real. Like, are you messaging because you need a distributor? Are you messaging because you want to help people change their life? I think there's a difference behind your message when you message like that. Like, you genuinely want to help me make money. I want the people who I reach out to, or the people who reach out to me, to believe that I truly want to help them make money, not because I'm trying to put coins in my pocket. Like, it's special.
So true. So true. I think there was one more question. What was your biggest struggle on your journey with the business?
Realizing that I was the issue.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest thing. I actually remember the moment that I was asked that question and like the light bulb came on, and I was like, yep, it's been me. Somebody asked me like, what was the biggest hurdle? What was the biggest obstacle I had to overcome? And it was always me. Always, every single time, it's me. It was me. And so once you realize that you are ultimately in control of if your business changes or not, because at the end of the day, and this is something that I've been talking to my leadership and my team about a lot, you can make a lot of money and not be here in 6 months. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not about that. It's really about the process of who you become getting to the money. And if you really become that person getting to the money, you'll keep it. Because at the end of the day, you get the money, and then what? A lot of people don't think about that. Like, you next month, your commissions is 10,000. Then what? Then what? Like, what now? You know, and if you don't have a purpose beyond the money, it's not gonna be worth it. You're gonna be like, bro, I don't need to do this for all of that. Like, you have to go beyond the money. And so it was me.
Wow, powerful. And I feel like something that we all probably are guilty of. And yeah, that's amazing. Well, is there any last words that you want to share with us before we let you go?
You got another question? You want me to get it?
Yeah. Get it. Where was it?
We know everyone won't stick when they join. How do you build that personal relationship without them feeling like you're bothering them? So I have a video on YouTube. It's super old, but it's called Bother Me. And I think it's in my welcome email. I'm not sure. But I tell them, I make it very clear. Like, if you don't bother me, neither one of us make money. And so my ultimate goal is to help you make money. And so I just set the parameters in the beginning. Like, I'm okay with hearing from you every day. And every time that they feel like they're bothering me, it's so crazy. I think Ashley's on here right now. One of my new distributors, she messaged me today. It's like, I'm sorry. Stop telling me that you're sorry. Like, this is my job. I get paid. Pays me very well for you to message me every day. Okay. Like, message me every day. And so I make that clear every single time. And then I'll reach out and be like, oh my God, I want to hear from you. Like, how are you doing? Like, that's weird for people. Like, a lot of people have never had that kind of connection that we are expecting when they come into It Works. Even some of my old distributors, they can just attest to it in the comments. Some of my old heads, they be like, okay, you want me to do what? Like, no, that's so weird. I'm like, yeah, just text me. Like, I had one of my Double Diamond, she's reading a book, and just for accountability, she sends me her ahas, not necessarily so I can talk about them, but for her own accountability. And so that connection is so important, and you get to create that. And so you create it. Just like if you're dating somebody, you make the listen, if you want to text me at 3 a.m., I will be up. Like, you just create it.
Analogies are the best. I once heard before that your lifeline, your upline is your lifeline. And it really resonates with what you just said, because there are so many people that do feel like they're bothering us and they don't truly understand how much we want to hear from them. So I loved how you just explained it like that.
And I always tell my team, like, I have boundaries. So I've worked really hard to create boundaries. So like, I have some people who are midnights. If you text me in the middle of the night, it's okay. Like, I'll see it in the morning, but you send the text message. Don't wait. Like, go ahead and send it. My phone is not even in my bedroom. Like, you won't bother me. So, but then I'll get it first thing in the morning, So just, you have to share what you expect. Be very clear, open communication.
This was so good. So good. I'm so appreciative that you took the time to do this for us today and let us pick your brain. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Guys, last little thank yous to her in the chat. Let her know how amazing that she was.
Thanks. You guys are the best.
And then you're on 9:30 later on tonight, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, will you tell us that quick so that way we can jump on too?
Tell you what?
What it is that you're doing. I think
nope.
We have some very new distributors on, so I'd like to
I can't share details, but it's gonna be great. I will not share what we're talking about, but it's gonna be great. You'll want any and everybody on there. And we're gonna just talk about it from an honest perspective. That's what it is. Like, it's to give you the real, the raw, the unfiltered. We filter because we have Jesus in our life, so we are filtered in that way, but we're going to give you the straight up no chaser. And that's ultimately what helps people really change their life, is that transparency. And so that's what we're here for. And we're going to talk about some real stuff that everybody experiences when it comes to business, especially in this season.
Beautiful. Yeah. All right. Well, we can't wait to see you later on tonight.
Cool. Thank you so much. Bye. Thank you. Bye.